salt up on the ground. Throwing salt, throwing salt, throwing salt, throwing salt, throwing salt, throwing salt.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another week of Throwing Salt. We are here again this week, and we're happy that you guys are here with us this week. How was your week?
Great.
What did you do this week?
Work.
I think that's been my week too. Work. Kids getting ready for school. How you feel about that?
Well, very nervous.
Nervous? Oh, is Sarah going to school?
She may be soon. We waiting for a call.
Waiting for a call. Okay, so we're going to pray and say, Lord, look, make that call happen.
Yeah.
That baby need to get out of here.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Mama need a break.
Mama need a break. Got it.
Mama need a break.
Oh, so daddy don't need a break because obviously daddy ain't.
I work every day.
See what I'm saying?
I get my breaks when I can take my break.
Oh, that's why you go out the house.
Yes.
You already knew that you couldn't do a remote job.
No, I can't do it.
Oh, okay.
I can't
Sarah
see
would
the
be
same
hanging
people all the time.
The people that you love, though.
Yes, I love them from a distance.
Got it. So you're saying that there needs to be space.
There has to be space.
Got it.
Yes.
Single but married.
Yes, that's why God put Adam and Eve in the garden.
Gave them enough space.
Enough space to do what they do.
But you see what happened there. See what the space can do?
Yes,
see? That's what I'm saying.
See what space
Anyway, I'm glad you guys had a good week. My week was all right. Worked a lot too. I am ready for school. Yes, I'm definitely. As you know, I have 3 of them. And one of my last one has a late birthday, so that school is still. I got another whole year, and the way they treating us, pre-K, you got to have a certain amount. Like I'm like, listen, you got to almost be making nothing to go to preschool. I don't like it.
I don't understand.
But so what was fun is that we did allow her to go to the store. We went to Five and Below, got some kid supplies, and she was like, "Well, I gotta get my stuff too." So she had her own little list. So she got a little Hello Kitty book bag and
that's
you
good.
know, and a lunch pail. She ain't going nowhere with it.
She ain't going nowhere with it.
I mean, literally, she just going from upstairs to downstairs. Yeah,
practice.
I like it. Yeah, we
Just
got her
open the door, let her
books.
go outside, and come back in with her lunch pail.
Yeah, I'm gonna give her a key too, because I mean, latchkey kids they start at 4 around my way. How you feel about that?
CPS.
Oh, CPS. Oh, well. Well, I'm grateful that you guys are here with us for another week of Throwing Salt. I am so excited to be here today because today we're going to get a little transparent today. How you feel about that?
I'm ready.
I think it's about time. As you guys know, we normally, bring in biblical principles to our lives and how it affects our lives. Again, as you know, we've grown up in the church all our life. We've been a part of the faith all our lives. And sometimes some things we've actually kind of pushed under the rug for a little while because we were trying to be perfectionists or, and to ensure that, we didn't have sin, right, in our lives, knowing they be the biggest sinners out here just doing it. Doing bad things, not it. But it was going on.
Yeah.
Listen, there was a lot of it going on in the church house, too.
No, that mercy.
Yeeks. Some people's caught. But we're not going to go down that road. Oh, back in the day. But with that being said, don't break up the past now. We're going to let that be.
Kiss my past.
Kiss
goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
So not us, but others. But we've been realizing, like just in having conversations that, it's good to talk about things because you actually start remembering things and bringing up things that you thought was really buried for a long time.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you had like a therapist or someone that you just really confide in, and you actually just continue to talk for like hours like we do sometimes, you start really going into this zone of, wait a minute, like you guys were dealing with that too?
Yeah.
I didn't know that I thought that was just me. I thought I was on my own island dealing with this by myself. And you realize like, no, I've been having my own struggle here. And I'm glad that somebody actually understands it. And not necessarily agrees, but we understand the journey of and what it took for us to get like to this place to now feel still, I wouldn't say necessarily fully free about it, right? But in a better place than we were before.
Right.
And I think this topic this week is very dear, I guess, to both of our hearts a little bit too, is because, some of it we're still dealing with now because you can't just undo something that you've been brought up in or been living with for all your life. It's been a part of you.
It's a challenge.
Yeah, exactly.
Big challenge. Yeah.
Yeah. So, just, you, right?
Yeah.
So you've been with you your whole life. And, what we are is nothing but our cultural norms, our experiences, how we were raised, who we've become based on who we were essentially taught to be. Right. And it's hard sometimes to undo that teaching unless you have the Spirit on the inside, right, that is always trying to lead you and guide you into that truth of who you are.
Right.
Or you really just have, along with, because you won't be able to make it without that. And people that are in this space that have that educational background to kind of say, all right, so I heard you say this. Let's dig deeper into that.
Right.
So why did you feel this way? What made you feel this way about this? What made you feel this way about that? So this week, this topic came up because at my job I have staff. So I'm a supervisor and I have staff. And so one of my employees we were talking, and we are doing a lot of civility training and diversity and ensuring that that we're all different, and how do we accept our differences and still be able to move forward. And so we're working on a project where I asked her to lead it because, you want to give people other opportunities. And so she was saying, well, I'll come up with the ideas and, you and I can work together, but I would that you talk. Like, I don't want to talk because, I'm scared of what people may think about me. I'm nervous. I'm not that confident in myself.
Right.
But and I'm sitting here like, well, what do you mean? I said, well, this is the whole purpose of diversity. This is what we are trying to get you to get into, is that we all are different. Just because you feel like, and another thing was she was saying, well, I still don't know if I'm going to offend people, right? Because everyone's so not necessarily sensitive, but I may be sensitive to the fact that, because I can't say brown, black, what do I say? How do I say this now? Because, our society is now like, everything feels so sensitive. Like we don't really know what to say.
Everything is very sensitive.
And the thing is, it could be sensitive, or it just could be that we were groomed into not feeling, right? So what's sensitive to you could not be sensitive to me, because I'm groomed in like, why are you giving into your feelings right now?
Right.
Opposed to, I validate you feel this way.
Right.
So now, because I don't necessarily feel the same way, but I'm going to understand that we may not be the same that way. But again, I want to figure out how we can find a middle ground, because again, how we talk about how we were groomed. If we were groomed to like not see, love and affection, and then people who love and have affection in the world,
type,
and you're like, ugh, why they do that? Like, that's so dumb. Like, I can't, it make me itch.
Yeah.
So, and we've had that, like, if we've been honest. So, we'll be like, so even going down that road, we both have spouses, and some of our spouses, again, we talk about our yin and our yang. And so our spouses like to do things, and they like to show public affection sometimes.
Right, exactly.
We had conversations.
They like to share meatballs and share this off the plate. Like,
and hug and kiss and do that.
Kiss, yeah.
And so, for us, what we found out was that, and us having our own conversation, even with our brothers, like, we don't really feel comfortable doing that. And then we would ask ourselves, why don't we feel comfortable? Is it us or is it them?
God.
Like, and so we realized that because we didn't see that often, and it wasn't that we didn't see it because our parents maybe didn't show it. It just wasn't shown that much in front of us.
Right.
Like, because we were super Pentecostal, like, meaning like no toenails out, no, keep your head covered, keep your, everything
I'm
tight.
so
And
glad
so, like,
of deliverance.
Lord, I bless you.
Yes.
Right here, right now in this place. And so, for us, it filtered into who we became, and how, again, an episode we did before, how we were showing up in our relationships, to where it's like, ugh, that is really weird.
I mean, your
Why y'all doing that?
boundaries are literally how you've been taught.
Yeah.
That's what most people's boundaries are.
Yeah.
If you was never taught to, don't do that in front of people, you would feel like it's normal.
Right.
And I'm like, man, don't do that. What are you doing?
Right.
Or people that like, when they be sitting at the table, they might be like,
right.
And your parents like, don't whistle at my table.
Exactly.
So like,
that's so
dude,
disrespectful.
Don't do that. Or you go to somebody's house.
Yeah.
And go in their refrigerator. Oh my gosh. We had a friend that did that.
We had listen.
Well, let's gotta be honest. We had a couple people that did that.
We're gonna be honest.
And
We
it
got,
didn't
we
go
got
well.
old school parents.
Yeah, we got old school parents. Like
just walked in
I
the
had one,
refrigerator.
like I'm just like, whoa, wait a minute.
Oh Lord.
Parents
So
like,
the thing is, what's so crazy about it is that as soon as it happened, there was just a quiet over the house.
Everybody was.
We
like,
were all looking like,
"Yeesh."
no.
It was like the bounty commercial.
Like, what did you do? Did you open my refrigerator?
I was like, who are you?
And then we had to like pull my mother by the coattail because my mama like the Lord has blessed her a lot. Like she's come a long ways.
A long ways.
But you would have got it. Like back then we were scared. We were scared.
I was like, oh, they're not gonna be around.
It wasn't holding her tongue at all.
Yeah, they're not gonna be our friends too much.
Yeah. All right, it's been real. Our friendship was nice. We understand.
And then
if
she
you don't
look
want to
at
see
us
again.
with the death stare, like, who is this person?
Right. And you
be
bought
like-
this in my house.
I be like-
I'm like, but we didn't know. You act like we knew what's
When
gonna be
you
in their
look
mind.
at it like that, but you don't know, like in their norm is people come over, go
Yes.
ahead,
Yeah,
do this, or
absolutely.
like when and I know y'all, some people you can't call people by their first name.
Right. Oh yeah,
Some people,
Barb. Like
some people will let you call them by their first name. I know my mother-in-law. Like
Yeah.
she told me, call me by my first name. I said, I'm gonna be honest with you, that's not gonna never happen. That's not gonna never happen. I'm just gonna be real with you.
I'm just gonna be
Because I'm just not. I've used to get popped in the back of the head for calling people by their first name.
Yeah.
So
We
the
ain't doing
head, the pop still, I can still
You
feel
can
it.
feel it. I still do that at work.
Yeah.
Like I mean, even though we're coworkers, I call people Miss Hope.
Yeah. It's last name basis for me.
It's last name.
It's last name basis
Yeah.
for me.
Well,
Because it's like if I got to be like really, really comfortable around you
right.
to call you by, and even if it still slips out by calling you by your last name.
Yeah.
Because my father always, what? You put a sir on the end of that.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'd be like, dog. And then she was like, nah, you can call me. I was like,
Yeah.
I even told my wife, I was like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen.
It's not gonna happen. So how I got into this or thought about this a little bit more is that she's asking, hey, so essentially, I'm gonna do all the work. I'm gonna get all the resources. I'm a spearhead, and I'll do what you need me to do because
Right.
I'm capable. But I don't want the credit for it. I don't want to talk. Because I'm nervous about what I would say. So can you do it in my stead? And so for me, that conversation brought me back to, well, what is making you feel that you're not capable, right? What makes us feel that we have the resources, we have the plan, we have Jesus on board, we have the ideas, we have the know-how, and we just still don't feel capable. So when I look some of those things up and those traits, it brought me to words like first identity theft and imposter syndrome. And so while they seem like they can overlap, they're not the same.
Right.
So imposter syndrome is that kind of in the story that I told you. You're able, you're capable, you can do, but you feel like less than. I don't want the credit. I don't think that I'm worthy, right? Enough.
Right.
Don't give me praise. I'm great, but no. Don't put me in the front. No. I'm not, because I think people may see me like as I'm this, but I'm not really this, but you're this, right? So it almost like it's like not that accountability, but like I don't want to be accountable for my goodness, for my greatness.
Right.
I'm not that good. I mean, no. I'm not that good. No. Oh yeah, no. I just built a Fortune 500 company, but I ain't that good. And people may equate that to I'm being humble.
Yeah.
But it's actually too, if you dive deeper, it's a form of imposter syndrome because you feel like I don't want people to know how great I am because they may now look at me in a different way, right?
And because intimidation comes with greatness too. And what people don't understand is when you are great at something and you have people that's over top of you or under you, both can be intimidated by you. And it makes it harder for you.
Yeah.
So we are people of comfortability.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a person that feels uncomfortable because I'm smarter than my boss.
Right.
Because now you become a target.
Yeah, and if you fail, then it's worse for you because you're in this place where I didn't want to do it anyway, and now because I've been trying because I know that I can, and then I have a mistake, and now people are looking at me like, oh, got him, he's a fraud,
or if
he's
you're
not
too
really
great at something, when you're too great at something, people tend to be like, oh no, I gotta get rid of this person.
Yeah,
because if you go to a board meeting, and your boss wasn't really prepared. Yeah. But you fully prepared. Right. And the owners or the CEOs be like, I like this person. Right. Oh, now I got to get rid of them. Because now you're making me look bad. Right. But that's not something to dim your light. Yeah. Because regardless of what you do, God going to shine your light regardless. Yeah. Of what happens, even if you keep trying to, oh no, I'm gonna keep dumbing down what I am. Yeah. Nah. And he's gonna keep putting you in the forefront. Because I ran away from preaching for a long time.
That's where I was gonna go.
For a long time.
Like in terms of our examples. But wait, before we get there though, because I wanna give true life examples. Yeah. But I want to dive into too, like the difference, like outside of being, having imposter syndrome, because again, most time when people deal with that, they're like those that are really like high performers, like people that are really perfectionists. Yes. And then you have what we were talking about, identity theft. Yeah. To where you're really not who you say you are, right?
Yeah, that's true.
But you're because of societal norms or pressures of life or pressures to be something, you take on the personality or the traits of people that maybe you admire or people that people see in high regard. Yeah. So, hey, I want to be like this person because this person always get great accolades. I want to be like this person because, okay, so I'm going to mirror my life and almost take on their identity to where you don't even know who you are anymore. You then start losing the sense of true self. Yeah. Because you've been somebody else for so long.
You've been wearing a mask for too long.
Right. And not just the mask. You've been wearing the whole suit.
Yeah, you've been wearing the whole suit.
So your speech, your talk, not just your face is covered. Your whole self, your true self is covered.
The way you even approach situations is not even how you would really approach it.
Exactly.
Because you've been around and in you trying to be in other people's skin basically and do the way they do. Right. And that's not even you. Yeah. Like we're trying to form relationships. Yeah. Where I told people, when you are an original, stop trying to be a replica. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. You are an original person. Yeah. God has broken the mold when he made you. Yeah. He's not going to make nobody just like you. Be true to the skin that you in. Yeah. And like, why are you trying to fit in when you're custom fitted? Yeah. Custom suits don't feel like regular suits.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They do not. Yeah. They don't cost the same. Yeah. They don't feel the same. Yeah. This suit is custom fitted to who you are.
Yeah, it's just like getting your suit
now,
tailored.
Once you grow out of who you are, that suit don't even fit anymore. Or if you try to be who you're not, that suit don't fit anymore. If I get a custom suit fitted to me when I'm 245, right. Once I get to 250, that suit ain't gonna feel good no more. Right. So you have to maintain in that space and that true with that suit, unless you or you're gonna just be feeling uncomfortable all the time. And you got a lot of people that's walking around in this earth that feel so uncomfortable because they keep trying to be somebody they're not.
And so we're gonna give real world examples here because I think we have a ton. Yeah. And I think it's helping not just me and us, but I think it will help listeners and viewers because there's a lot of people who are in this space now, and some people call it like midlife crisis or these things where you're just feeling like, where do I fit? Yeah. Who am I? Yeah. Am I being true to myself? Right. Do I like the person I'm becoming? And is there space for me to change? Right? Is there time, or have I built up who I've been portraying so long that if I was to go back, I'm not going to have friends anymore. My family won't know me.
Or they're not even going to recognize you.
Right. They won't know me. Nobody will know me anymore.
Because if you're introduced as the false self, you're trying to change in the middle of the game.
Yep. And then the thing is, mind you, as the false self, you've then created friendships with the false self, relationships with the false self. You've been creating, bonds, even relationships with Jesus Christ. With
even
the false
your
self.
Jokes are false.
Right.
Like, let's be real. Like, you don't even talk like that outside of that friendship.
Right.
And like, one thing about me, you're gonna get who you get.
Yeah.
Because if I don't cuss, I don't cuss.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't care if I'm mad.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not me.
And so with that point, I think I'm going to go ahead and drop some transparency moments here, right here. So if anybody knows and have seen me and my brother do this podcast now, this did not look like this when we were growing up. Just being honest.
No.
We did not like each other. We had to because we loved each other. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
But we didn't necessarily like each other.
Nah, I'll fight for you now.
It was more so probably me not liking him more than him not liking me.
Right.
Because he always never did what I told him to do.
No.
So, but the thing was that it was never that like he always didn't do what I told him to do. He didn't really follow the rules like most people would follow the rules. Mm. And for me, we would fight constantly because, hey, me and Man, which is my other brother, we're doing the right thing. We're following the rules. Why you always got to be difficult? Mm. Why you got to always be like somebody that's doing something else, the black sheep? Why are you always just not conforming to this box? Yep. And then I realized as we were growing up is that for me, if I'm just being honest, it wasn't necessarily that I was mad at the person, which the Bible says you're not mad at the person, the flesh and blood. I'm mad that I could not be like you. You know what I mean? I could not stand up and be like, why the heck can't I just say no either?
Yep.
How is it so easy for him to do it? No. How is it so easy for him to do it and it's hard for me? Why do I feel like I always got to be the good girl, right? And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with being obviously the good girl because that's my nature, but I don't want to go either. Like how can he say it out loud and I'm just saying it in my heart? Like, I want to be able to say it too. And so it was always the struggle of, I'm not necessarily mad at you, the person.
Right.
I'm mad that I can't do it.
You can't do
it
the
way you do it.
Exactly.
And I'm just like, what, and so for me, that's the sometimes like our struggles, right? Is that we want to be who we are.
Yeah.
And it's hard to be that because we've put up so many walls. We've been portrayed as so many things to where we don't want to lose a sense of people's gratification for us.
You picked up your. We have two parents.
Yeah.
You picked up your side of your parents' traits.
Yeah, yeah.
I picked up my mom's side.
Yeah.
She's a vocal person.
Yes.
If she's not going to do something, she's going to tell you, I'm not doing it.
Right.
And you can see the disdain on her face. With me, if I don't like something, it's going to be on my face before I speak it.
Right.
And then I'm going to start drawing away from you.
Yeah.
Because I wear my emotions on my sleeve.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm going to tell you, y'all hide y'all. Because that's how that is. He don't show his emotions too much. It's like, nah, I'm just going to sit here and just until y'all boil over.
Yeah.
I don't wait till it boil over.
Yeah.
I'm already boiling when you do it. I'm already boiling when you do it. That ain't, let me holler at you real quick, cuz. Let me holler at you real quick. Because you ain't even about to get out this conversation because I don't want you to forget what you just did.
And the thing is, what's so crazy about that is what we realize, or what I realize is that if stuff like that is not addressed when you're young, it'll fluster over
to everything.
To everything, to even when you're older. So I think I've said a couple of instances before, but even for my husband, he is he's the same way. You don't have to ask him. If you ask him how he feels, he tells you exactly how he feels.
Yeah.
It was very weird for me because, I'm thinking, hey, you see pastor, co-pastor, hey, I got my husband here, that you're going to conform to just, do what we do. Nope. I remember there was a transparency moment. I remember he was asked to become a minister and we were in front of the church and he said, hey, do you take this mantle and do you want to become a minister? He said no and walked away. And I was like, so everything in me shambled because I was like, why didn't you just say it even if you didn't want to? Why didn't you just do it even if you didn't want to? Like, who does these things? Who doesn't just act the part, play the part, even though you don't want to?
But that's fake, though.
There we go. But again, like you said, for me, it didn't seem like fake. It was just like,
you could get as disrespect though.
It was like a form of disrespect. It was a form of, we have to make people happy. It was a form of, it didn't seem like, oh, you being fake. Like, it wasn't that for me. So it's also too how you're perceiving these things in your mind, because how you're growing and how you're not addressing things. And then it becomes a weight. So his no became my weight, because now I'm like, well, how do I fix this? How do I make sure that people don't look at him a different way? How do I do this? How do I do that?
But that's
when that wasn't even my weight.
We keep trying to jump into everybody else's situation.
Yeah.
Even if it's our spouse. I'm learning every day.
Yeah.
It's some battles my wife gonna have to fight by herself.
Yep.
It's some battles my daughter gonna have to fight by herself.
Yeah.
It's some decisions they're gonna have to handle by themselves without me jumping in the middle of this. Because I've had situations where my wife is not the rah-rah type.
Yeah.
You got a crazy one, then you got a calm one.
Oh, so you must be the crazy.
I guess I am.
Oh, okay.
But the calm one, the problem that they have is that they're not vocal enough.
Yeah.
And they do let people do to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Until they get mad enough.
Right.
And then it always comes out at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all, from a person, take it from me. When you let people walk over you for a long time, when you explode, it always happens at the wrong time.
Right. Because you have no, you
be like,
you don't have any guard.
I cannot believe you just did that. And it'd be like, and you go off on the person that really ain't really do that much to you.
Right.
That was just the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
But a person that always is vocal,
yeah.
Number one, you know how to take them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They don't have a lot of friends.
Right.
I'm going to be real with you.
Yeah.
People that are vocal people don't always have a lot of friends. Why? Because everybody can't get with you.
Right. The realness sometimes becomes too much.
It feels too much.
Especially when you're in a fake world or you're trying
even
to
with
be.
that, though,
yeah.
even with being the person that's vocal all the time, sometimes we, as vocal people, can do things in the wrong pretext too.
Yeah, and the timing.
And the timing, our timing can be wrong because we blew up.
Yeah.
You be like, hold up.
Yeah, when there's no
Maybe
guard,
we should have just talked to them instead of went off on them.
Yeah.
But that's your identity. Mm-hmm. And that's where you have to learn to control your emotions.
Yeah.
Because with me, like I said, I had to learn that.
Yeah.
And my dad was more of the one teaching me that.
Yeah.
He was more of the one saying, you know, son, you can't just go off every time somebody say something to you. My mother was cheering me like, no, you tell him. You tell him. No, you tell him.
You don't hold that stuff
But
in.
that's not true, though, because
yeah.
Jesus wasn't even like that.
Right? Yep.
It was times where he put the whip out
yep. And it was
and whipped people out the temple. But then there was times when he wrote in the sand.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the middle.
Yeah.
If y'all want to know our Savior, he was the most middle person you would ever meet. Because, and what he used to say was very impactful.
Yeah.
And he didn't have to yell.
Yep.
He was like, he said, I came for the people that were sick.
Yeah.
You don't want me to sit with these people because you call them scum and this and that.
Right.
But this is who I came for.
Yeah.
I ain't come for the ones that was well.
Yeah.
I came for the ones that was sick. With Mary Magdalene, when she got caught in the middle of adultery.
Yeah.
He just wrote in the sand, like, I'm not going to say nothing because I know anything I say is going to incriminate me anyway.
Right.
And it's going to kill her.
Yeah.
It's going to incriminate me and kill her. So what I would say is the smartest thing. Whoever, and I'm going to let them reflect on themselves.
Yeah.
Whoever is without sin, won't y'all throw the first stone.
And that's what, as this topic is moving along, is that some key point, one of the tools is that self-reflection.
Yes.
Being mindful, even in the example that I just talked about, like what was really my trigger with always, not agreeing with you or arguing with you, and we were always going at it. It wasn't the you, right? It wasn't the flesh and blood you. It was that actually you need to reflect, because why are you so heavy?
Yeah.
And you're heavy because you're trying to be everything to everybody, and you can't be. And you're trying to fit in molds for people that you can't do.
That is exhausting.
It's so tiring.
It's exhausting. Especially when you're trying to make a person conform to how you think.
Yeah.
They don't think like you.
Yeah.
Your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, they don't think like you.
And the thing is, when you're really true to yourself, like you said before, no matter how much you try to hide it, it comes out.
Yeah.
So everybody knows that I'm super extroverted. I'm hype. I make light of situations. In even in meetings. And so I remember there was a question. There was a interview question, and they were like, what if, based on your personality, what if people can't really get with how hype you are? And so for me, at that moment, I had to think about it, and I was like, do I? Because two thoughts came to my head. Do I not be who I am, and then the other part that actually came out was that, well, I'm not in the business of trying to make people like me.
Right.
I mean, my skill is what got me in this seat.
Exactly.
My personality is actually what made you come to me to talk to me.
Right.
But because I'm here is the question that you want me to now dim my light so that it's easier for you to take me. Mm-hmm. That's not my problem.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that's not a me problem.
Right.
That's if you feel like I'm too overwhelming for you, that's not a me problem. Because the thing is, as much as I try to conform to a meeting or, be somebody else in something,
eat salad with the salad fork. Yes,
right.
yes.
Wait a minute, eat salad with the salad fork. You eat salad with your hands?
No, just don't worry about it. Just move on.
Oh.
You have a salad fork, then you have a regular fork. It's
oh.
Like went over.
We just use the regular fork. That's why. See, you gotta give context.
It's okay. She hasn't been in really formal gatherings.
See, being myself, being true to myself. We out here with plastic forks.
Oh,
we out here with the dough.
No.
What you mean? Like, I got kids. I'm not doing salad forks. Not right now. We barely get out, please. Then in a movie, it's a luxury out here in these streets. What you talking about?
But I do feel what you're saying because it's like everybody's not gonna like you.
Yeah.
I learned that a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I used to ask God that. Like, God, why don't I fit in like my brother fit in?
Yeah. Right.
Why don't I fit in like my sister fit in?
Yeah.
Why they got all these friends and I got like this many?
Oh, you were thinking that?
And then I asked that, but I started realizing.
Oh, okay.
My destiny didn't cause for all of that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If I would have been like them, then maybe it would have shifted my thinking.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't have had enough time to speak to me.
Yeah.
With all of those voices around me.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Meaning
David
Jesus,
was by himself.
Yeah.
So God could do what he needed to do with David.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't like his brothers.
Yeah.
Even though he wanted to fit in like them.
Yeah.
He couldn't.
Yeah.
They kept pushing him away. And it wasn't a push away because that's what they wanted to do. It was God ordained.
Right.
Because I got to mold you in the dark.
Yeah.
To be something greater than you even knew you were.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's why identity crises are the worst things, because you will never be what God has called you to be until you learn to be what he's called you to be.
I think probably the story in the Bible that like most reflects this story is probably Moses.
Yes,
where
definitely.
He was born of a slave woman, saved by a rich family, groomed into. Reminds me of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Same thing, but then groomed by Egyptians and learned their way. But always had something inside that just felt like I am
something else.
I'm something else. Like there's something else.
And when you realize what you really were,
it
almost threw him for a loop.
Yeah.
Because it was 40 years.
Yeah.
Before he found out that, no, you just like us, bro.
Yeah. So it was not even just the identity crisis, but
what's
also
the movie? Imitations of Life.
Oh yes.
When the girl, she thought she was white. Oh, my mother cried every time.
Every single time.
My mom, we putting you out there. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But she cried every time. She Imitations of Life with Mahalia Jackson.
Yes.
And the girl,
trigger.
She thought she wanted to be a white person so bad.
Because she was light skinned and she had a black mama.
Not to find out that the person that was her real mother was the maid.
Yeah.
And she couldn't get with that.
Yeah.
That really?
Yeah.
This whole time is you?
Yeah.
But at the end of it, when her mother about to die,
or when she did
die, you ready to cry.
Right.
But Moses really didn't know. He didn't really know, but it was always something inside him like, dude, this ain't right.
Yeah.
I mean,
and he still went through imposter syndrome too, because even as he grew, because he had a stutter, even though he was capable, he knew the ways of the Egyptians. He knew that he can get into Pharaoh's head because he was there. He knew he had the ideas. He knew he had the know-how. But I got a speech impediment, God. I'm not worthy enough to do this. Call somebody else. Tell Aaron to do it. Get somebody else to do it.
The good thing about it is God will groom you for your destiny even when you don't want to go.
And even when you have an ailment.
Even when
you feel like you're not adequate.
He
uses those things.
Let's be real. Pharaoh is all about being, what's the word?
Astute, strong.
And this and that. He never once put Moses to the back. If you've seen Ramesses, you've seen Moses.
Yep.
He never said, and he knew Moses wasn't his child.
Yeah.
He knew Moses had a speech impediment.
Yep.
He knew all these things about Moses. But even him was like, come on.
Yep.
Now you're going to get in the front. Because I'm not even knowing, unknowingly to me, you about to lead a group of people.
Yeah.
I wanted you to help lead my people.
Yeah.
But you're going to help lead your people. And God made it so that you get pushed in uncomfortable situations.
Yeah. That the real you come out.
The real you come out.
Yeah.
And the real you came out when you start beating somebody that's just like you.
Yeah.
The real him came out after that fact.
Yeah.
He was like, seeing him get whipped, it was like, dude, what are you doing? He grabbed him.
Right.
Man died.
Yeah.
They found out, and they even tried to cover it. Don't worry about it, man. We got it. He was like, nah, I got to go. And God will let you be an imposter for so long.
Yeah.
Until the realness of what he wants you to be come out.
Well, and then until the weight of the fakeness or the weight of the suit, right, becomes too heavy.
Too heavy.
To where you're now, because it'll start showing up in ways to where like certain things you don't find pleasure anymore. Certain things you're crying about now, like what you never would have done, like, or you just feel tired in your mind and you haven't even done anything with your physical body.
Yeah.
But it's just my mind is heavy because I'm trying to do and be all these things and I just want to be free.
Like
right?
I couldn't be in the royal family in England.
Oh Lord.
Because
rules.
You gotta hold your purse. The women gotta hold their purse a certain way. Or they gotta do this, or they gotta do that, and they can't do this, and they gotta do this. And it's too much to even think about.
That's why Princess Diana came through that thing.
And the girl
she was like, I ain't doing it.
What's the son that denounced his throne?
Oh yeah, Meghan Markle and who?
Prince Harry. Because it was just too much. And you know, he was always against the grain anyway.
Yeah.
Ever since his mother died, he was just like, nah.
It's always against my
the other brother, he's astute.
Right.
He looks good in camera.
Right.
His wife looked good in pictures. It's just the other one, I don't think it was just because of how they treated her.
Right.
I don't think they wanted to do this anyway.
Yeah. He was doing it for a long time. He was just tired.
For too long.
Yeah.
I can't even show my real feelings.
Right.
I didn't even show my real emotions when my mother was walked down in a coffin.
Yeah.
I had to just stand there. Like, I don't want to be that person where I can't show who I really am.
Yeah.
When I need to show who I really am. No, you cry behind closed doors.
Right.
What?
Right. Yeah.
Dude.
And that's how, in that sense, that's how grooming happened even in church. Is that you're gonna pray it away. You're not going you're gonna do this. No, and then you're gonna be this way. You're gonna sit in the seat this way. You're gonna love God this way. You're gonna denounce people this way. You're not gonna have friends that do. And you're just like what my life is like. I feel like I'm in a box. And what's going on?
And the thing is that you can't pray everything away.
Yeah,
and that's the realness of it. Sometimes you got to go see a therapist.
And then who knows what the people that you were denouncing is that the people that God wanted you to be a part of. God allowed a prophet to marry a harlot.
Right.
Didn't he?
Yeah.
Like a man of God was married to a harlot. So the thing is that, and we're not saying go out there and just find, people on the street. But what we're saying is that the people that you're throwing away because of a box you're trying to fit in could be the very people that God is trying to bring together in your life.
David never really acted like a king.
Mm-hmm. Right?
Saul acted more like a king than David did.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
David had whatever he wanted, but David still did whatever he wanted to do too. You get what I'm saying? Like Saul was more of a kingly person to the people, not to God though.
Yeah.
See, the problem that David, the difference, differences between David and Saul is that David would do what he do, but he knew who to come back to and who heart he had.
Right.
Saul looked good,
Yeah,
but inwardly wasn't good.
yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He looked good on paper.
Yeah.
You know, you got some people that look real good
Yeah.
when they see you, but they rotten inside.
The inside is bad. Yeah.
David had his flaws, but he knew how to say, I sinned against God.
But that's why the Bible also talks about having a clean and pure heart.
Yes.
Right?
And that's why God never looks at your outward appearance.
Exactly. Because you can have on this whole suit.
Yes.
So if your heart is your heart and it's true to who you are, your outward man is going to reflect
He
such.
called the Pharisees and scribes brood of snakes.
Mm-hmm.
Why? He said because your hearts were bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't your outward appearance. Y'all wore robes.
Yeah.
Y'all looked the part.
Yeah.
Y'all led the
Y'all
synagogue.
praying.
Y'all prayed every
Got-
day. But you were a brood of snakes.
Mm.
Why? Because you kept your foot on people's neck
Yeah.
with the law
Yeah.
and never even lift up your toes.
Mm-hmm.
But you wasn't even living what you was preaching.
Right.
So you was a hypocrite.
Yeah.
And Jesus came, and that's what messed them up, is that he came and was real about it.
And they were really in that identity theft.
They definitely was in identity
taking
crisis.
on the identity
If anybody
of
had an identity crisis, it was the Pharisees and the scribes.
and identity theft, meaning hey, I'm gonna be this way in front of you, but inside that's not who I am.
I am the high priest.
Right.
But the
yeah,
real
you're
high
putting
priest,
on that.
But when the real high priest came on, he showed compassion.
Yeah, he did.
He showed love.
Mm-hmm.
He showed meekness.
Yeah.
He showed patience with people that he knew was trying to kill him.
Right.
The real high priest came along. But those fake ones, they didn't do anything. They all they was ready to do was kill you.
Yeah.
But show me what I did wrong.
Right.
I didn't do what you asked me to do.
Yeah.
So that's why you tried to kill me.
Yeah.
And I was going against the norm and the grain.
Yeah.
No, this is how we do it. You don't heal people on the Sabbath. Really? But if an ox was caught in the ditch,
right. Would you save
wouldn't
it?
you save it to help your business?
Right.
They couldn't get with that because everything they had, everything they said about you, he had a response for.
And it made them do self-reflection, to which they weren't doing,
because
when you're on identity theft and then you're doing yourself, you're an imposter. Yourself, it's submerged. Yes, you that's in the back of you. You don't think about those things anymore until they're called out.
And that's what Jesus came to expose what you tried to hide.
Yeah,
and that's what I love about Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing I love about him.
Yeah.
He comes to expose what you keep trying to hide.
Yeah.
Because you will never be free when you're living in bondage.
That's the point.
And living in bondage. You can never be free.
Yeah.
The disciples that he had, none of them felt in bondage.
Yeah.
Except maybe one,
Mm-hmm.
which was Judas.
Mm-hmm.
Peter, he exposed him.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to deny me 3 times, bro.
Yeah.
Even though you say you love me, when the rubber meets the road, you're going to roll.
Mm.
And he had to come back and say, I betrayed my God.
Yeah.
But never again.
Yeah.
I don't care if I get my head cut off. Never again. I don't care if I get burned up in a silo. Never again.
Yeah.
Will I let what I was exposed to kill me. I'm never again. I don't care what happens. They keep me in this jail and they tell me I'm going to burn you up and crucify you like your savior. He said, nah, turn me upside down.
Yeah.
But never again will I deny him.
Yeah.
I'm going out preaching him.
Yeah, that's self-realization.
He reflected
happens.
from the one time.
Look,
you only got to tell them one time.
Yeah.
And they get it right.
Yep. And it only takes one time to really unlock what you actually been carrying right for so long to where you now feel, like you said, this freedom. You were going back to a story that you were saying about, identity theft and identity crisis and being a self-imposter too for you as your journey to becoming like who you are now in the faith, meaning like some people call a preacher or someone that expounds on the word.
It was
and how that happened for you.
It was very humbling.
Mm-hmm. That's a good word. Yeah.
It was very humbling because I ran from this for a long time.
Yeah.
Like it was prophecy.
Yep.
Before I even knew who God really was.
Yeah.
They say, oh, he's going to do this.
Yep.
And it was a man of God that was spot on.
Yeah.
All the time. Because he heard from God. I believe that.
Yeah.
And it was just like, even my parents would say, it's just something different about you.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I don't want to be Like, I don't want to be that.
Yeah.
I want to be like everybody else, but I could not get away from God's hand.
So why do you think you were running? Like, what was the...
Just the fear of conforming to God.
Gotcha. So you felt like being a part of God's will and way was like a trap.
It was like a trap. It was
based on what you saw.
What I saw. It was
right.
You didn't
see freedom in Christ.
You couldn't be free.
Gotcha.
Like, because if you read the people in the Bible, they was mostly by themselves.
Yeah.
And they had to carry this gospel by themselves, and some things people didn't understand.
But that's a good point that you raised, though, is that I didn't feel if I took this on that I would be free in him, even though he says that I will make you free in me.
Yeah.
You felt that being in the way of him would be conformed, but I think, and I'm not speaking for you.
Paul even said it, though. Consider my chains.
Yeah.
Because I am a prisoner of
for
Christ.
Him, right.
But what you have to understand what he's saying is that my will is a prisoner now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't me, but it's my will now. And I didn't want my will at the time because I didn't know to be a prisoner for Christ.
This is good. Mm-hmm.
I didn't want my will to do that.
Yeah.
My will wanted to be free.
Yeah.
But nobody, even if you're a preacher or not, has a free will with God.
Yeah.
You conform to his will.
And his will is perfect.
And his will is perfect.
Yeah.
You want the free, dangerous will.
Right.
He wants you to have the perfect will.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that's good.
I said, God, I don't know. And that's back when I was younger.
Yeah.
Thinking like that.
Yeah.
But it's like, and I'm like, I don't know. Until he brings you from the pit to a palace.
Yeah.
Like he did Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it had to come from.
Yeah.
And from that humility there, I told him I'll do whatever you ask me to do.
Yeah.
Because before then, there was no barriers of me doing your will.
Right.
No barriers. I didn't feel like I did anything wrong to really have to do your will like you wanted me to. Until I got into a situation.
Right.
To where I said, I thank you for keeping me and not killing me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had to get to one of those moments with David to say, Lord, I did this against you.
Yeah.
And from then on, I said, I'll do whatever you ask me to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where he wanted you.
Yeah.
Humble.
It's important to talk about these things too, because some people may be finding themselves in this same crossroads.
Yeah.
To where I want to do God's will, but I feel like his will is heavy. It's conforming. It doesn't allow me to be free.
And it was crazy because even though I was saved, I didn't feel like I had a miraculous story to tell anybody.
Yeah.
I've been in church all my life.
Right.
I don't feel like I had a miraculous story to tell anybody.
But that's the thing about the imposter syndrome, right?
Yeah.
It feels like it makes you feel like you have to have that.
Until
and
he gave me
the
miraculous story to tell somebody.
Yeah.
And it came through his love and his grace.
Yeah.
That he still salvages what you wants to throw away. And I was just like, God, oh my goodness. That's the story right there.
Yeah.
But that's always been the story.
Always been the story.
He salvages.
Always been the
what
story.
you think he wants to throw away, he really wants
he
that.
Rescues.
He rescues.
Yes.
And that's what I needed. I needed a rescue moment. And it came in a most unopportune time. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's where my focus became even more. And my hunger for him came even more.
Yeah.
Because it was like, I was in a place where only God could help me.
Yeah.
Could nobody else do it.
Yeah.
Only God could bring me back from that place.
Yeah.
Only God can meet me on the mountain.
Yeah.
Only him.
Only him.
You get what I'm saying? And that was the turning point in my life where the drums couldn't help me no more.
Right. Hiding behind
this couldn't help me no more.
Yeah.
Because this became of non-effect anymore because I
distraction.
really didn't want to do it anymore. And when he allows the hunger of something that you used to love to be that no more, you don't even have the same passion for it no more.
Right.
So I was like, God, I don't have the passion for this no more.
Yeah.
And when he started making, and you know it's God, when he started making opportunities for you to do his will.
Right.
I was like, oh my God.
Right.
Oh, I need you to do this today. Oh, I need you. I'm like, I don't. Even when I felt like I was inadequate, he made me do it.
Yeah.
Same thing with Moses.
Yeah.
You going to Pharaoh's house.
Yeah.
I'm not going over there.
Yeah.
I just ran from these guys.
Yeah.
No. I ain't going because I can't talk, number one.
Right.
And you know it. So,
Right.
Oh, no. Go take Aaron with you.
And you still going. Because God could have easily said, all right, well, we'll let Aaron go. He said, well, I'm taking you both are going to go.
He said, pick up the staff that I gave you, Moses.
Yeah.
And go back and tell him what I told you. He said, even if you can't speak, let him speak for you.
Yeah.
I'm not letting you out of this because I got to show you your real identity.
Yeah.
And I got to show him. I got to show him your real identity.
And I got to show that my grace is sufficient.
And my grace is, and that I heard my people.
Yep. And I would never go back on my word.
The word came forth as a child. You're going to preach.
Yep.
I can't go back on what I had already said.
Yep.
You can run but for so long, but it's still going to fall when it needs to fall.
Yep. Yeah.
And the time came where I got to do this to make this happen, that my word don't hit the ground.
Yeah.
Some people don't understand. God will make things happen in your life that his word won't hit the ground.
Won't hit the ground. Mm-hmm. And it'll be up to you to make the choice.
Sometimes you don't even have one.
Yeah.
You will have a Jonah moment.
Right.
And that's the real.
That's real.
I will wrap the seaweed around your neck until you tell me that, okay, I'll go to Nineveh.
Yeah.
The seaweed had to be wrapped sometimes for me to say I'll go to Nineveh. Because I didn't see a way. I didn't see why I needed to go to Nineveh.
Yeah.
I didn't see why you needed me.
Yep. Yep.
Because I don't have no spectacular story.
Right.
I didn't come from drugs and this and that. I wasn't whoremongering on the corner.
Right.
But he found me.
Yeah.
When I thought I lost him.
That's good. And that's always
and
what
he showed me my real identity.
Yeah.
And now I can't play with that anymore. Even when I go out to people, they even tell me, bro, you look different. You're a different person.
Yeah.
I had a guy that told me that in the store one day. I was in CVS when I was struggling with my identity.
Yeah.
He said, man, you were called to be something better than what you're running from.
Yeah.
I ain't know this guy a day in my life. And I was like, see, there you go.
There you go. Angels unaware.
Yeah.
Just putting them right in our midst. What are you talking about?
He said, you are called for what you're running from. You're better than what you're running from. He said, when you learn to embrace who you really are, you're going to see. And even in my sin, people start seeing my gift. And that's the thing that got me.
Yeah.
That people started seeing your gift, even in your sin.
Yeah,
they started seeing your gift. And I was like.
But that just goes back to who we serve.
Yes.
Right? How gracious he is with his love, that he doesn't want to see one fall.
Not one.
Right?
Not one.
It really is up to you, because he doesn't want to see one fall.
Not one.
And us putting on the mask and trying to be some things that we're not, and having imposter syndrome and certain things that we feel like we're not inadequate, even though we know it's in us and he's told it to us and we believed it at certain times, because a lot of these things, you walking into your destiny didn't just come by you not believing.
Right.
You had a moment of, I could really do this.
I can do this.
I know that he's with me.
And especially when every time you did what he told you to do, everything fell into place.
Yeah.
But you still got scared, just like how Elijah got scared of Jezebel.
Like you think it's a fluke. Like,
you
just one time,
fire from heaven. God just licked up the sacrifice. He just killed all of these prophets.
Yeah.
And in one fell swoop, she tell you, I'm going to kill you. You run from her and tell God to take your life. That's how human you really are.
Yeah.
He showed you your frailty, but he showed you the power that you possess too.
Yeah.
Every time I would step behind a mic,
yeah,
no lie, if it was from my voice of singing or from me talking, the Holy Ghost would meet right there.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed to say that,
right.
And I'm not boasting because it's not me. It's of his grace.
For sure.
But I never wanted it.
Yeah.
And God makes leaders that don't want to be leaders.
Right.
God makes people that never wanted this thing.
Yeah.
If you want the position before you get the anointing behind it, he ain't gonna use you. Mm-hmm. It's the one that did not ever want it. David never really wanted to be king.
Yeah.
Somebody came and got him.
Yep.
Kingship wasn't even on his mind.
Mm-hmm.
Servanthood was on his mind.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Most people that are pulled to the front
really
want to stay in the back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
But you have a burning inside to push you to the front.
Yeah.
Did Martin Luther King really want to be in the front?
Right.
Not really. He was a preacher.
Right.
Did Malcolm X, a known drug addict, drug dealer, really want to be in the front? No. Did these people Gandhi really want to be in the front? He was humble.
Yeah.
But it kept pushing them to the front.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I'm looking at is that sometimes, and it's crazy. This is a crazy moment right here because that was my life story. I never wanted to be in the front.
Yeah, I think,
But God,
me too.
The way he had made stuff and shifted it, you right there in the front.
Yeah.
In everywhere that you go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It finds itself in other places in your life.
In other places. Because if you're a leader, you just won't be a leader in church.
Right.
You just won't. That gift don't only moves in church.
And to just understanding that leader doesn't necessarily always mean that I got to be on the front.
No.
Meaning that it's the influence.
The influence.
Your influence. Yeah.
I was at work one time and a person told me, they said, your voice draws people.
Yeah.
Your influence draws people.
Yeah.
He said, be careful.
Yeah.
I was like, what? And that's before I was doing anything like this.
Right.
You know me.
Yeah.
4 or 5 years ago, this wouldn't even have been my story.
Right.
I was like, nah, Ash, I couldn't even pray in front of people.
Right.
Literally.
Right.
But
that holy boldness came.
Really, the holy boldness, because I learned to lean on the Spirit of God.
Yeah.
And not my own understanding.
Not my own understanding.
I had to lean on his Spirit because when you lean on his Spirit, he carries you.
Yes. That's
you
what
think that
about.
Billy Graham said that, man, I was just listening to that coming over here today. He said, you think that you're holding on to God, but really God is holding on to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and when I had to realize that he held on to me.
Yes.
When I let him go.
Let him go.
Man. Really.
So this has been an awesome discussion. And, we like to bring up these every now and then, these transparent moments that come in our lives that we've also faced and also had to have a crossroad moment in our lives.
Yes.
And still, not lying, like still having to deal with this, even in, I'll just speak for me, even in my personal life right now, still feeling like looking over my life and saying, hey, I'm in a place where I never thought I would be.
Yeah.
And God, this is really nobody but you because I'm not smart enough. I'm not wise enough. I'm not this. I'm not that. Looking at all the flaws that I have, but not just really reflecting on it was only you. It's because I want to do your will. I want to love you. I want you to love me back. And he has now made the way based on prayers that sometimes weren't even my own.
Weren't even your own.
You know what I'm saying? These are prayers of my mama. These are prayers of my grandmother.
Yes.
That he's now sustaining me, the generations for. Go ahead.
Right there. Now, that's a salt moment.
Yeah.
You really think that you're only living off the prayers that you pray.
Right.
When really you're living off the prayers that everybody is praying for you.
For you. This is going back
to
your point.
My grandmother just said that to me earlier. She said, I've been praying for you for a month.
Yes.
I'm thinking I'm sustaining off the prayers that I'm praying to God. No. It's the prayers that everybody else is praying for you.
Yep, because because he sees all,
he sees
right?
all.
So everybody has an opportunity to have a relationship with him.
Yes.
And so he's not just answering my prayers, but he's answering my grandmom's prayers. He's answering my daddy's prayers. All of them.
As she pushed Moses in the water.
Yes.
The prayer was let him get to safety.
Yes.
Who was to know that safety would have been in his master's house?
Mm-hmm. To save the people.
To save the people.
A nation.
Not just himself.
Yes.
So her prayer went beyond her son.
Yep.
It saved the nation.
Yeah, she was praying, save my son. But God was looking at, I'm saving through your son, I'm saving a nation.
Your prayer literally didn't just save your son, it saved the nation.
Yes.
God almighty.
By saving you.
By saving you. But I had to let him go.
I had to let him go.
Good God Almighty. Good God Almighty. Some people, y'all don't understand the prayers that your mother prayed ain't about just you.
Yeah.
It's maybe for your generation.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm telling you.
But you're going to be the one through you.
Through you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why you got to be true to yourself.
That's it. That's why you got to be true to yourself. Because once he started being true to himself and said, Moses, Pharaoh, God has heard the cries of his people.
Yes.
And it's time for you to let them go.
Yeah.
God said, then I will show my wonders.
Yeah. And he did.
And he did.
Oh, and he did.
10 of them. He started showing them. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, back to back. And Moses was telling him, all right, now, the next thing get ready to happen.
Right.
You might want to let him go because you can't box with God, even though you think you are God.
What they say, your arm's too short.
Your arm's too short to box with this God. Yes, this Lord.
So we are excited about this episode. Yeah. We hope you've learned something. And again, in the chat, give us some of those moments in your life. Because, we want that feedback.
Yes, definitely.
How you are traveling through right now or have traveled through certain circumstances where you felt like you experienced imposter syndrome or identity crisis or identity theft. And we would like to hear those stories because we encourage one another through our storytelling. And then as you pray for us, we'll continue to pray for you.
Exactly.
And we're just grateful that you guys have joined us today here at the pod Throwing Salt. I'm glad to have my brother here again this week. Yes. God is good. And we hope to see you next week.
Don't forget.
Go tell us.
Don't forget, like and subscribe to our YouTube
Definitely.
channel. We're on TikTok, the Throwing Salt Podcast. We're on Facebook, Throwing Salt Podcast. We're on Instagram, Throwing Salt Podcast LLC.
Yep.
And listen,
Apple
man, we're on Apple. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on iHeartRadio.
Yeah, we are.
We're on Apple. We're on Amazon Music and Spotify.
Yeah, we are.
And if you just want to send a personal message to us, throwing salt 2023 at gmail.com.
We'd love to hear from you.
We would love to hear from you. If you don't want to put it out there in cyberspace and you just want to say something to us, we're going to respond back to your comments.
Indeed.
Believe me.
Indeed. So a great episode, guys. We look to see you next week. Until then, bye.
Preserved by my Redeemer, the Messiah and the leader. Belly full of living water, just in case you need a leader. Reflecting the overseer, protected, cause Lord, I need you. Can't let a day go by without giving the word a try. But what if I fall short and I'm in need of a friend to pick me up and help me start believing again? Continue fleeing from sin. Man, we just fishing for men who throwing salt. The perfect seasoning for the season. You win.
Ain't got time to play around. Put some salt up on the ground. Throwing salt.